Okay, well, hi folks, and welcome back to our Survive and Thrive session, and with our host, our other host, of course, Carolyn Edlund from RC Shah. Carolyn, welcome again to the session.
Thank you, Graham. It's really a pleasure to do this whole series with you. We've been having a lot of fun.
It has been
talking about subjects that artists need to know about while they're home and they're not out selling, and what they can do during this survival mode.
Definitely.
So these are great topics.
And in this session, we're actually going to be talking about email marketing. And you being an artist manager in a sense, and somebody that actually teaches artists how to manage their careers, tell us about your email marketing and what it does for you.
Well, you know, I would say this, many artists don't take advantage of their list of interested fans, people who've seen their work, or even their existing customers. And those people are going to be your best customers. So you need to stay in touch with them. And the list that you have of those people, your email list, is one of the greatest assets that your company has. I'm sure, Graham, that you have an enormous email list. Am I right?
Yes, we've got a fairly large one, yeah. And
you are often in contact with them, reminding them about the show, promoting the artists that you work with, and being in their lives all the time, and being an important part of their lives, because those are your customers. And I also have a similar customer base, because I work with artists. I do consulting. We feature artists. We're always got things of interest, publishing articles and so forth. So I need to be in touch with artists all the time. Artists themselves need to be in touch with their entire network, people who are interested in what they do, their story, their art, and so forth. So all of us are better off if we collect the names and the contact information of those people, and then we stay in touch with them over time, because people will rarely buy from you the first time you have contact with them. I mean, only maybe 5% of people are actually going to buy something. They love what you do, they're interested in what you do, but they need to hear more, and they need to hear over time, and eventually they'll make that purchase. So email is a very important way to stay in touch with your collectors. And I encourage artists, if you haven't done it, start collecting that information now and setting up a system to stay in touch with them.
Absolutely. So what do you think is a good way to actually collect those emails themselves? I mean, how do they start to amass that situation?
Oh, I think that's a great question. If you have 0 names, then I would probably write down the names of who are your friends, who's in your family, who do you know who knows that you're an artist or appreciates what you do, even if it's just 10 people. They will probably not unsubscribe from you. You can put those people on your list right away. Who have you sold your work to? I'm sure you have the contact information for collectors, people you've shipped to, people who've inquired. Maybe someone emailed you and said, yeah, this is really interesting. My sister told me about your work, or whatever. Email that person and say, I'd like to stay in touch with you on an ongoing basis. Then, when you are at a live event, put out a guest book and ask them to sign up to get on your VIP list. Maybe offer them free shipping on their first order. If you have an open studio, ask them to sign up. On your website, have a pop-up or a form that says, join my VIP list to get occasional updates on my newest art, and invite them to become part of your list. And over time, you will accumulate many, many names. And those are people who are interested. And when you reach out to them through email, you're giving them the option to unsubscribe whenever they like. So it's not like a lifetime commitment. They're not going to hear from you unless they choose to.
Absolutely. And I've always found in the trade shows that I've done around the world that I actually offer a prize. I actually put up a piece of work, and I basically say to the people, if you drop your business card in there, you'll go into the drawer for that particular prize at the end of the trade show. And I always have a bowl full of business cards from people. If they want to unsubscribe, it's not a problem whatsoever. And in saying that, I sold a piece about 6 weeks ago to a client that's on my database that last bought from me 20 years ago.
Wow. What a great testimonial for the power of staying in touch with people. You know, when someone owns your work, they know who you are, they love what you do, and they're your best prospect for a future sale.
Yeah.
It's easier to sell to existing customers, and they spend more money.
Absolutely. Well, the prices have doubled in that time. And to the advantage that I had, he was an American client, and the dollar at the moment is about 40% less. So basically, I made 40% more in my money, which was fantastic.
Nice.
It was great. Absolutely.
Good for you. Yeah, that's excellent. That's great news. Some people will ask, well, how do I send out these emails? You can't do it from your Gmail account. Most people know this because you're undoubtedly on someone's email list, even if it's Amazon or even if it's, a very big company. Maybe you've bought something from them and they put you on their list. So we receive email marketing all the time. Sometimes you unsubscribe, sometimes you delete it or whatever, but they're actually sent through email service providers who are going to keep you on the legal side of things. It's not legal to reach out to people and spam them. In Canada, I think you can get like enormous fines for this. It's really crazy. But if you go with a well-known email service provider, and MailChimp is really well-known. A lot of artists use that. They're free up to a couple thousand names. I personally use Constant Contact. They're here in the US because they give me the best customer service in the world, and I will never leave because they're such a great company. I think you all use a French company, right?
A company called Send Blue. They're based in Paris.
Okay.
But just once again, very, very good. And they're very well reasonably priced as well, which is the thing. I mean, we have a fairly large database. And as you said, basically, if you're going to be mailing to people over 2,000, you're going to have one of these servers to help you out.
Right. So you can sort your lists. You can, make a list of everyone that I met at a certain show so that maybe they live in a certain location. Then when you're going to do the show again next year, you can email that list and invite them to attend. Yes. Whereas you wouldn't, invite someone from another country, they're not going to come. So you might want to have different messaging going out to different lists. When you work with one of these providers, you will have a template. You can select the template you want. You can put your header. You can kind of, create a format that's your regular way of sending. And then you can just keep using that. It becomes very easy. You can schedule things to send whenever you want them to. You can schedule like a series of emails. Let's say you're going to have a sale over the course of 4 days. I'm announcing the sale. The next day, reminder of the sale. The last day, this is the last day. This is the last chance to buy. So that would be like a scheduled series to go out.
Which is really handy because you've got other things that you want to concentrate on, and that's an automated situation, which is wonderful.
Right. It's automated. And another thing that it can do is, let's say if somebody were to subscribe, and I don't know what you offer people who subscribe to Color in Your Life, but I know I offer an ebook on selling art online. So they sign up, and my email service provider immediately sends out an automatic response that says, here's your free PDF course, and you can open it right away.
Fantastic.
So you're offering them an incentive. So what kind of incentives do you have at Color in Your Life for signing up?
We have premium memberships in our website and in our Facebook pages. We've got a premium Facebook page as well. So people can come in, and then we give them free forums and then ebooks, a whole bunch of other things. If they've got questions that they need to ask, they can come in and consult with us as well. So they do get giveaways to be part and parcel of what we're doing.
I think how could artists use a concept like this? And so you're looking at people who have done certain things, like they're at a certain level. You can reach out to that list and ask them to, subscribe at a higher level or get more involved. And so what do artists do? Well, you might have a list of galleries. Maybe you're pursuing galleries and you want to just reach out to them every once in a while. Now, you can't have that in a subscriber type of a situation, because unless the gallery has given permission for you to email them, you can't. But as far as email marketing, just through your regular email, you might be reaching out to people like that on a regular basis just to stay in touch and just to connect. If you have a database of collectors, for example, they've bought one piece from you. Maybe you have a couple of different collections or a couple of different lines, maybe reproductions and originals. You know that these are people who've bought reproductions and they've bought in a certain price range. So you might be sending messages to them to get them to try a small original, maybe jump up in price, or that they've bought a certain piece. What is the next logical purchase for them?
Yeah.
So I think that you need to analyze the people that you have on your list and be really smart about the way that you approach them. If you look at the analytics that in your email service provider will show you who opened your emails,
yes,
who opened them more than once, who opens them every time, who's looking at which images. So if you see that maybe you have a certain painting that you've sent out in an email and there's 3 or 4 people who've opened it numerous times, they might be really interested in that painting. So you might reach out to them a second time that week and say, this painting, it is available only for a limited time, buy now. Just to reach out and just revisit that, repeat that to them, and see if you might capture them as a sale.
Yeah, it's a great point. I actually did that once again about 6 weeks ago with a client that had bought my work on the ships, and they had bought reproductions, and they got in touch with me. And I'd been in touch with them about 12 months beforehand, and basically I did exactly that. And I said, why don't you have a look at some of the originals I've got? I'll give them to you at a great price. Once again, because of the value of the American dollar at the moment, it suited me to the ground, and they picked up 2 pieces, which was
wow,
which was great. So,
I actually don't think of something like that as marketing or solicitation. I really think that what you're offering your collectors is a service and a benefit. They love what you do.
Yeah.
They want to hear from you. They would be disappointed if you never got in touch with them again.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. That's a great point as well, because artists, I think, get to the stage where they go, well, they don't care and I'm bothering them. And the people will tell you if that's the case, or they'll just unsubscribe, take me off the list. But generally they love to hear the story, and part and parcel of what we do is telling that great story through those email databases and marketing.
Yeah, I think artists rarely get unsubscribes. I mean, it's not like you're selling car insurance or financial planning, which is always, soliciting someone. You're sharing beautiful images that enhance their life, and you're telling them about yourself as an artist. I mean, who doesn't love art? If you don't, unsubscribe. You shouldn't have been on the list to begin with. But I know that there are people who open emails from artists, and it is the brightest part of their day. They're looking forward to seeing something beautiful that they can enjoy, because their job isn't as interesting. Artists are really interesting to them. Maybe that's what they would be if they had a choice, if they had a wish. And so they're kind of living vicariously through you as an artist as you share your life and your experiences with them. I think it's incredibly valuable. And I think that if you ask art lovers and collectors, that they'll verify that that's really true.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, that was fantastic information, Carolyn. Once again, it's great to be with you. From Artsy Shark, your fantastic company as well. But we also want to mention the Clark Hulings Fund. The Clark Hulings Fund is a fantastic organisation based in New York, and they also help to manage artists' careers. You are working with them very closely as well, and they are a fantastic organisation.
I do, and they have a robust digital campus where people can log in, get some access for free. We also have some paid levels. We have a huge number of courses that are for serious working artists in 9 different disciplines, and I'm really pleased to be working with them and to be collaborating with them. And they're partnering with you as well. And we're just really, this is a wonderful way to work together to bring all kinds of benefits to artists across the world. So it's just a pleasure to do this with you.
It's fantastic, and I think in any sense that you've been a professional artist yourself, now a teacher. Between the people that we work with, there's literally hundreds of years of information, an experience involved in the art world. I mean, literally. So
that's true. I hate to say, between you and me, probably 100 years.
Okay. Well, that was more on my end, not yours, I can assure you. But if people want to come in, they can come into our website as well at colonylife.com.au//CHF, and they can see what the Clark Hulings Fund is actually doing in there. And once again, Carolyn, it was great to be with you, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It's been delightful.